Hello and welcome
to the Sketchy Wizardry podcast, the first episode. Wow!
Oh my goodness, man.
This is a history being written into the stones, and
Absolutely.
I don't have enough words. All of our sponsors, all the companies that have invested into us,
Truly.
the stockholders, the business people. There's so much money into this. Clearly, you can tell by
The budget is way up.
It's
It's
beyond
crazy.
imagination. But okay, thank you for joining us in. Whoever is interested to listen to us babble.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a correct word? I think?
Babble, gurble, gobble,
Gobble google.
skabooble.
We're very happy to do this because it just so happens to be that one of you some time ago have asked us a question.
Yes.
What is the history of JADOKAR and where it all started from?
And also, it would be nice to, apart from answering this question, to have these sorts of series to have a more conversational sort of a relationship with you guys and
Exactly.
gals and everyone else. It's nice, you know. You get to know a little bit more about us. You get to interact in this sort of way by asking us questions, and we can get to this particular one.
Indeed, yes. So
Where should we start?
So remember, to start from the beginning, I think we have to tell a little bit about each other, where we were before
Yeah.
everything started, before JADOKAR was created.
That makes sense, yes.
Would you
Begin?
like to begin?
I
Yes.
begin, okay.
Begin, please.
Listen, I started as a child in Latvia. No, first I was born here in Georgia.
I don't think that I think we have to go that far.
I know.
First, I was conceived by my father and my mother.
Yeah. No, let's not go that back. My ancestry dates back. Okay. This isn't our first attempt at trying this out, social media, content creation, and whatnot. And if I'm not mistaken, one of our first attempts was comedic skits. Do you remember Mr. Person?
Yeah, but that was still kind of like a goofing around.
Sure, but we
And you just said a forbidden word for people to find this on
nobody will know. Nobody will know how to search that. But anyways,
Only a very, very dedicated person will be able to find the stuff that we've made in
probably
past.
that one fan who has
Yeah.
watched. Dude, we have to remember their name because, like,
Yeah.
this person has time-stamped every special moment in that 12-hour episode, which is crazy.
Thank you
Shout
so
outs
much.
to you, whoever
Yes.
you are.
Yes.
But hey, yeah, I just mentioned those like couple of goofy videos that we made. We tried it out. Then we made a Instagram page where we tried to make a comedic comic book style sort of short novels. Well, not
Yes.
novels, but comic strips rather.
Comic strips is better, yeah.
Should we shout it out and just for people to see it? Because maybe, who knows, if they like it, like maybe we could like continue. Not that,
Yeah.
but like that type of content maybe.
I guess you can check it out. It's called Badunkins.
Badunkins.
Badunk.
It was really hard at the time, and we didn't do any reels. And at that time,
At that time, reels were still not like the peak content on Instagram. It was kind of
Yeah.
coming into the style and becoming more and more popular, but
the algorithm didn't favor that kind of content yet. And still, most of the people, I even remember Catnips, the one of the more famous sort of goofy art, very nice people on Instagram, was still posting photo-based content.
yeah.
I
I
don't
think he was slowly implementing reels too, but very.
I don't think at that time there were.
I definitely can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, we can check with the dates. But anyways, yeah, you and your friend were sitting down and like typing comments on other artists' pages. You were trying to like follow manually a lot of people
Yeah.
to drive some attention and engagement, and we barely managed to reach like 2,000 followers.
Oh no, we reached at least 5,000, something like
maybe
that.
maybe that number. But
yeah, because when we abandoned it, it started to drop off and
sure
disappeared into
maybe.
the abyss.
Perhaps it was still in mid 4 digits, and it took a lot of effort. And making those comic strips was really hard. Who knows? Maybe we would have succeeded if we kept up with that kind of regime for a long time. But anyways, that was another kind of a failed project.
Yes.
Then time went on. We did a couple of music videos, and nobody gave a but you know, because again, if you want to be noticed online, you have to be systematic. also there are other factors. You can try to be exceptional and in terms of your excellence in quality and in humor or personality wise to distinguish your videos.
True.
But the consistency aspect is very important. And we were making, yeah, you remember how hard it was to make those videos.
I think it was still kind of it wasn't necessarily an attempt to create something for social media, because this was more just us trying to create something creative, because I worked as a sometimes cinematographer, sometimes focus puller, sometimes camera assistant. So I was in the film industry and kind of trying to pave my way into a bit more higher projects. So I was hoping that whoever would see those things, because obviously we shared these music clips on our Facebook page and so on. Like I was hoping that maybe like someone would see it, like they
take
would
an interest,
and then in the future, once I would be like getting to know, like getting to work on, once I would be working on other projects, yes, somebody would have like offered me
some
a
gig,
job, because that's how it used to happen. Usually, the jobs that I've done were offered to me because someone saw something that I've done, and then they were like, "Oh, that was nice. Like, let's try and like interview him."
Similarly, how we participated in a competition along with another friend of mine on webtoons for a comic book competition, and it was the first time where we made. Now these people are going to search for that as well, but I don't think they will manage to find that.
No,
that is under a certain name. But we'll, it's so bad. Because I never drew in that kind of style. My art
definitely wasn't bad.
No,
this is in his standards, maybe. Yeah,
it is terrible. Some facial proportions are so out of whack. Mouth is too small and
we're also like trying so hard to do it as fast as possible.
Yeah, I was rushing really quickly.
Yeah,
because like always, artists, not like always, but oftentimes artists, when they see a deadline, they delay, postpone, and then last week is up, and okay, now we have to schedule perfectly to make it like I remember it was so bad. We were
last 5 days we were sleeping like I would sleep for 20 minutes and you would continue work, then I would get up.
I think it was the last day, actually.
No, last 5 days it was basically like that.
No,
and
we would have died.
It was like that. No,
I remember that it was because we were working on the last chapter, and I think it was maybe last 2 days. Because if imagine 5 days, I would have died. I don't think I was.
We did die.
Yeah, maybe.
I genuinely remember that last 5 days we were very tight on schedule.
Maybe it was such a traumatic experience that I blocked it out of my memory.
Yeah, maybe we were not sleeping 20 minutes all those 5 days. Definitely the last day was the most horrible.
Think that's what I remember. Yeah.
But in those days, like we were at least only sleeping like 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
Then coming back again. And then, like, sometimes Soso would take a break, sleep, and I would color the panels. And
he was even taking part in it.
I was color. We were doing it simultaneously, and at that time, I bought the drawing pad for Soso to draw.
Yes.
And I was working with a mouse and trying to color with the mouse. It was so horrible.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's bad. It's because of all those reasons. But yeah, we didn't win, obviously.
Because we were late. We didn't even.
Oh yeah, but I don't.
We were 30 minutes late to submit the final chapter, and we emailed them, and they were like, no, we can't do anything about it. And we're like,
no, so sad, man. But I don't think there were so many good.
Other. I don't think we would have won. No. But at least. We would have submitted it.
Sure, people would have noticed or anything. But yeah, but I mentioned that because, like you said, some people contacted you through those music clips. I got a couple of gigs from that as well. People noticed, which were also terrible. Those other gigs,
but still, in a country like this where people don't really appreciate talent,
anything
like
is still like something is better than nothing. But that's something in a small country like this where the demand for art related content is very low due to the fact that the country is so small. You will not be
usually
surprised.
What happens is someone would see a work like Soso's, like he did a whole comics just technically by himself, like designing. The story was written by me, but still Soso like drew everything. And then in their mind, they're thinking like, oh, well, if he was able to do it by himself, he'll just do another comics by himself
For
without
b-
any help.
yeah. Before the barest minimum amount of like salary.
This doesn't mean necessarily that in a country like this, I don't want to shit too much on Georgia, but this is genuinely what's going on here, and
Yeah.
I don't want to hide these things. Like if someone sees that one person can do a job of 5 people,
Yeah.
they will not pay that one person the salary of,
Of
5 people.
Yeah.
They'll just pay the salary of one person and still get whatever they get out of it.
Yeah, the work ethics here need to be polished
Yeah.
up. Just like they happen to be polished in the film industry, more or less, because you were telling
Oh,
me
definitely, yeah.
back in the day it was a lot worse.
At least like the things that usually happen, like in America and a lot of other more developed countries, the unions start to assemble, and
There's not
like
enough artists here for that
yeah,
to happen.
exactly.
At the moment,
in
there
movie
might be.
industry, that's what happened. Like light technicians one day said like that's it. We're not gonna work for like 50 lari. We're gonna work for only 100, and then step by step they almost equaled the amount of salary they are getting right now to some of the people from Europe. And
Yeah,
still
international
not
standards.
yes, it's still not like as good as it should be, but it's good enough compared to what's going on.
So we had all that trial and error, turmoils and everything, and then I was working on. I was so demotivated and dead inside. It was one of the last comic book commissions that I was working on, and I felt really guilty because I was postponing a lot of it, and people were. I'm not gonna say some of the details of like you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, it was terrible. There were really bad relations between me and the person who commissioned the. And I finally like finished off all the work that I needed to. David was at
Well,
the.
we can give them a little snippet, like a little idea, because whenever I listen to podcasts and someone says like, "Oh, I can't say that," I will like just say something. So you can just say like, I can say what I think.
Sure, you go ahead.
Basically, to not go into a lot of details on one of the projects that Sosa was working on, the dates, the deadline was kind of like past deadline, I think. Yeah.
So hugely.
And we can say very gently that he was emotionally threatened
Yeah.
by someone from the other party.
Which at that time I so did not give a about that. I was like, bro, what are we even? Why are you even trying to like make me
Yeah.
feel bad? Like I already feel like shit.
Because
so-
it's like again, like if you're giving the entire job to one person
yeah.
and then you expect them to be on time, don't like go past the deadlines, finish everything, contouring, colors, everything, and then you're angry because this one guy who works on an entire project can't finish it.
It was also because of the fact that there weren't at the very beginning there weren't any set deadlines, but that's another issue. But
Yeah.
that finally like
We can go into so many details
I know.
how like this is incorrect. And
work ethics episode is gonna be
Yeah.
next, maybe we'll see. But yeah, I've finally finished that, and I felt like a huge boulder was lifted off of my shoulder. And we both me and David were kind of at the point where like, all right, like, what should we like try and
try
attempt-
again.
Yeah, again.
Yeah.
Do something with each other's like collaborative work and try and pursue.
Also was very motivated to like he kind of like escaped out of this prison of being
Work
put to this
commission.
work so many times, and he finally thought that he had like enough energy to start doing something again.
Yeah.
And so I also kind of sat down and thought to myself, looking back into all of our previous projects, thinking like what kind of mistakes we've done, like what can we improve.
Mhm.
And one of the first things I remember I offered was that like let's just do whatever we both like, something that will not require any extra amount of brain work, because just to quickly like go back to Badunkins, the issue there was that we created characters, and basically every time we wanted to post something, we had to come up with a story that was supposed to be funny and original, and that really like kind of caged us into a very tough sort of process to like come up with a lot of ideas.
Yeah, every time we had to come up with an original premise.
Yeah, exactly.
So which people manage to do that. Some people might have a very easy way of.
But in the beginning, it's like very difficult to just continue doing this.
And also, this is my issue. With every post, my quality was getting more and more complex because I have the tendency to do that. I can't
tendency to not stop there.
Oh boy, it is a problem. But it is. You have to restrain yourself. Otherwise, yeah, I could potentially work on like a 5-page comic strip with that. Each and single one of those pages is on the level of like Michelangelo or something. I
Yeah.
could do that, but it would take me like a month. So you have to, as an artist, and I'm me specifically, kind of rein in yourself and put yourself within some restraints in order to be efficient.
So yeah, what we did and what you still can see on our Instagram page and TikTok too, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's on YouTube, or maybe it's also on YouTube.
Hmm.
We did 15 or 14 original characters drawings on one page.
Yeah.
And pre-recorded all of those things before we started uploading, before we started doing anything, because I thought to myself that it would be nice to have like some extra content in case like one day we feel tired or we can't do something.
And the thing that inspired us to do that was like I just quickly looked up, and you mentioned that as well. Just to go and see like what sort of stuff is there online that is trending in terms of art. And I looked on TikTok, I looked on Instagram, and these formats, short formats, and some of the content, in terms of its
Quality?
not just quality, but like work effort that it took to make them. Like there's one page on TikTok that has like 32 million follows, and every or like no, not that many. I think like a couple of million followers at least, and every single video was getting like 10-digit million views.
Yeah.
Every thumbnail was the same. Every intro was the same with slightly different music videos. And every time there was a small drawing made in the corner of the notebook that was as simple as anybody could do during the class. And I was looked at that and, my God, if somebody can do this and be successful, why can't I do that? Like, why can't I try and do that?
And of course, like we're not saying that those accounts are bad or anything, but
sure, yeah.
On opposite, like it kind of motivated us to start doing something because we thought that if someone is able to do this and gain so much attention, basically, then why shouldn't we try to create something after all the things that we've been doing? And so,
and with all the baggage that we now gathered experience-wise and everything, the 14 original character faces was made. Then we were thinking about, together with you, you were more trend orienting a little bit at the beginning, just to see how it would work. We wanted to see how fast we could gather attention and algorithmic sort of audience capture.
Well, I was oriented to try to create something that would be more entertaining in the beginning. Like we did some challenges drawing same drawing in like I think 1 minute, 5 minutes, and 10 minutes, or 10 seconds, 1 minute, and 10 minutes. I think.
Yeah, that was the first one.
And it's obviously very stupid and goofy because like obviously you can't create anything perfect out of it.
Sure.
But it's the fun of challenge. It's the fun of like seeing like, oh, what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And
it's engaging content. Tried and true as well, because you see the examples of it as well. And
it did at the time it was pretty successful compared to some of our previous videos.
The first few 1,000, 2,000 views was to us the huge landmark. Like every time we were getting that kind of numbers, we were so excited because we never seen that amount of like engagement from people in relation to our content. And considering the fact that it was out of nowhere, we didn't promote any of our stuff.
Yeah, this time, like the previous thing again, Badunkins is a kind of a good comparison because on that account, I was trying to engage with other people, like going to their pages, like texting them, commenting to their stuff, and trying to like bring other people from other accounts. And it was, first of all, very tiring. It also feels forceful to kind of go and like someone's photos and then like go back and hope that's
it's a hustle, baby.
But and this time I just wanted for us to create whatever we liked, however we liked, to try and implement some ideas that we had and just see what happens, and not try to pay money or try and go to other accounts to hope like someone would come and follow us,
boost our posts or bot some stuff.
Exactly. And it took like 1 month, approximately a month, for Instagram to start getting like a
huge traction in terms of numbers.
I think up to like 10,000 followers, something like that.
Yeah, and I think there were a couple of one or two videos that almost went up to 1 million. I think it was either like
100,000,
oh yeah, 100,000.
and
Yeah,
for us 100,000, and still 100,000 is amazing. If we
yeah,
get 100,000 views, it's
bruh. Any person that can get those kinds of numbers is already doing really well for themselves.
yeah. I think as from that point we started posting every day on TikTok and on Instagram 2 times a day in the beginning.
Yeah, that was the goal set from the very beginning as well.
Yeah, because we wanted to just see like what this consistency is all about, because all the like little clips on TikTok you see, or like YouTube people saying that like consistency is the key, like you have to like continue posting. And of course there's also like people like Mr. Beast who will tell you that instead of creating like 10 videos a month, you can just create one that will gain as much views as all those 10 videos.
Yeah,
This was still like a different platform, TikTok,
and a different format as well.
Exactly. TikTok and Instagram are completely different places compared to YouTube, and that's why I thought that maybe in the beginning it would be the best if we just try to pump as many videos as possible to see
While
what would
also
happen.
trying to keep originality and
Oh
quality.
yeah, we try to continue to stay as original as possible.
Yeah, I don't want to make it sound like this is all just numbers games and us
No,
trying to. Yeah.
The main key was honestly like the best part of all of this is always engaging with the audience and just exactly. No, but seriously, like seeing what people like and seeing like
Yeah.
the comments, reading. Because, for example, one of our recent little shorts that we did called Little Shota, I was so excited about that idea. And it was like very, very simple. I knew that it
This
was
was
nothing.
his idea, by the way. His script.
Yeah. It was very simple, nothing like special. It was just, I just wanted to create something cute. And
Yeah.
the character also resembles that cuteness, the story resembles the cuteness, and my whole like goal was to go into comment section and read all of your comments just to feel happy about Shota being appreciated, because
and you did not disappoint.
you did not disappoint indeed. And also little secret about little Shota, which till this day I still
Hey, I gotta tell you, why not?
I have a very, very close friend who comes from film school that I went to.
Yeah.
And this little character is kind of based on him. He still doesn't know that, because I don't think that he's seen the video. He's not a very social media type of guy. He doesn't check Instagram and stuff that often.
Yeah.
But in my mind, he's just such a nice guy, like such a nice guy. I wanted to see comment section filled with his name.
Like we shouldn't try to. Well,
we shouldn't try. No. We don't need we don't need people like Shota. We should be like Shota. I think that was one
all
of
these positive comments revering Shota is so hilarious. And
yeah. So I think that's the best part of all of this. Just seeing how you guys react to our stuff, and
positivity and everything.
All the times that I've done story on our Instagram asking you like what kind of content do you want to see, or like what kind of tutorials you want to see. I'm always curious what our audience wants to see from us, and the same thing kind of I think we can say in this first episode is that of course like a lot of videos you see on Instagram and on TikTok are tutorial driven videos, and like how to draw this.
Some channels are primarily focused on that alone.
Exactly. Yeah. But we also wanted to implement something more personal from us.
Originality.
Not that anybody cares about that necessarily, but we strongly believe that we can create fun things.
And we want to. We have the creative urge to do that. Because
exactly.
I always, when we were doing these videos, when I was noticing that there were tutorials for some of these periods and throughout the last year. I was trying to steer our direction a little bit into another like original kind of direction, because and it's not like David was like against it or anything, but like we both tried to navigate this environment in such a way that we don't get trapped in one style of content or something. And yeah, you guys have been very, very adamant on seeing Wawa Wua.
Yes,
and that
we're so happy about that.
we have infected your brains with wawa and woo content,
Yes.
which is we
We're very
appreciate.
glad about their presence in this world, and we
Pluralist.
strongly appreciate your support.
If anything, I'm just glad that my career has been landmarked with this achievement.
Yeah.
That this exists now, and people are very much
Exactly.
very closely and genuinely relating to the condition of wawa and woo.
But to kind of wrap this question, because at this point we told where we were before we started
Yeah.
JADOKAR, what drove us to start JADOKAR,
Yes.
what happened in the first few days, how we created this short, like 14 videos.
Yeah.
I would maybe add like a little bit of a continuation of how.
What kind of the future?
No,
prospects that you
just
want?
like a few little things that happened after we realized
Oh, yeah.
that we kind of are.
We're getting
Where account blew up basically, yeah, because
we're getting clout.
we're two Georgian guys
Yeah.
who live in Georgia. I do travel sometimes in America because my wife is American, and
I sit alone in a room and draw.
Yeah.
I am the sweatshop worker stuck inside my room.
Stop.
That's all jokes.
Yeah. But and that has also been a reason for us to start this because I was moving so much back and forth to America and then back to Georgia that I was feeling that slowly kind of my and Soso's creations were kind of separating because we were not able to spend as much time together as we were able to do it back in the day.
Yeah.
And JADOKAR gave us this opportunity to start this beautiful journey
Guys.
and create so many wonderful things with all of you. And I think after we realized that we were actually getting some traction and people were starting to really like what we were doing, we started to really focus on where are we going to go in the future.
Yeah.
And with all of you great people watching, I think we can shortly kind of sum that up too. What are your hopes for JADOKAR, and what are mine?
My hopes in the hopefully near future. We'll see how near that might be, a year or two or whatever. I like to work on more collaborative projects. I'd like for us to increase our scale because most of the content now is short format videos, and to kind of broaden our horizons in terms of like long format videos, which would allow us to work on, and me would allow to work on larger scale projects, huge paintings, murals, and the engagement with not only other content creators, but also creating potential art workshops and symposiums where we could invite some of you fellas to participate in these kinds of, either it could be in the format of a competition or a genuine workshop where we try and teach different kinds of skills, either me talking about art or something, and then creating interesting kind of projects on the spot. It could be, there's so many different ideas that I have in mind. Hopefully this platform and this sort of content creation endeavor is going to allow us to get to that point, and it will be all thanks to you, Blaze.
Indeed.
But yeah, those are some of my like near future like scaled projects, because in a way the bigger the better, but also it's a balance thing. Like I nothing against Mr. Beast, but I don't think our content necessarily, or me personally, I don't think I want to be so bombastic and so I bought this island and I customized every single tree or some craziness like this.
We might have something like that, but definitely not viral driven. It might be a big scale, but it might be something that we both are genuinely interested to create.
Yeah, because I am very much interested in what art can mean to people and what it can represent. I feel like nowadays contemporary art, which we haven't even talked about yet, but the way that I see it can improve a lot. We might even like re-embrace some of the old traditional forms of art that could allow us to re-experience them, kind of in the same way that Renaissance has managed to do that way back. And yeah, that's in my case. In your case, films, and the filmography could help you do that and showcase to our audience like what kind of things you have. So
Yeah.
leading into you, what would you like for
I
Jadokar?
would like a slice of pizza
Oh,
with a
man.
little bit of cheese on top.
Mamma mia! Mario!
Yeah, but
Whatever.
well, I think at this point, what we struggle most at is creating long format videos. And one of the goals that I have is to be more efficient with it and create more interesting stuff on YouTube, because here we can express ourselves more widely and more creatively. Not that on TikTok, on Instagram, we're not able to do that. We're still very much doing as much as we can and want, but the time limit just doesn't give you enough opportunity to showcase some things. So I think in the future, I would really love to introduce a little bit more bigger projects from both me and Soso. Some of the projects from me personally too, because I don't know, maybe some people would also enjoy some film oriented content, and all the film nerds there speaking to you. I'm one of them. I would really love to talk about that stuff. And on this podcast, we also will have some episodes, I'm sure, where we're going to talk about films and just in general this industry. Yeah, I think mainly at this point for the near future, that's the first thing I want to do. And of course, as we go further and further with like more collaborations with other people, we're gonna achieve something bigger and better, I think. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
But to me, the most important is quality, and that's one of the reasons why we struggle to post so often on YouTube, because I still want to create something good enough with good editing, good quality.
Let us know in the comments. I'm curious for those of you who can answer this, because I rein in David a little bit. Like whenever we make YouTube videos, I know he wants to make things very well made, but due to the fact that we don't have that many, production
right now
quality
one of the issues is that it's just two of us, and
there's no
we
editor.
really need a crew.
We have only 2 lighting panels that are large and one small one.
Office lighting panels.
Office light, yeah. So whenever David is like, "Oh man, this shot really like it's not really good," I'm telling him like, "Dude, just please, let's make something. Let's not care." What do you think? Should we like produce or try to produce more long format videos, even though the quality might suffer a little bit, or should we maintain the kind of? Because I'd like to see.
That's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah, more.
Because we can, like we thought about, we can do like a daily, not necessarily daily, but at least weekly.
Yeah.
Just kind of vlogs of how we're doing things, and
Or
me just basically holding the camera and not really caring that much about the lighting or stuff like that.
Or it could be review related kind of stuff.
Reviews too, yeah.
Sure, yeah. Let us know in the commentaries, please.
Yes, but with this, we will say a good night, a good morning, a good evening to you, and goodbye to our fellow viewers. Thank you for watching the first episode of Sketchy Wizardry Podcast. Awawa and Wawa went on Wawa adventures, and Wawa looked at Wawa and said, Awawa Wawa. Oh!
That's good.
Yeah, I think we can end here.
Sure, cool.